Hey everybody, before we start, I just want to say thank you guys so much for the 60 subs, um, and so much love on the series, and some of the other series are going to be put on pause, like the, Evil Saiyan. I have to come up with a good storyline for it, because so far, he's pretty much just a walking powerhouse of destruction, so I may redo that series instead. So, to those who liked it, I'm sorry, it's on pause for right now. The other series will continue. Tech Deku series, still iffy, but I'll probably post a video later tonight. Anyways, let's get into it. So, this video is going to be going over the training camp, and also, if you guys haven't seen the Underverse series, which is a animated series of the X events, pretty much that's what this Deku, he's getting the group together, the bad guys group pretty much as he calls it, and everyone else calls it. And he's pretty much just going to go around conquering the multiverse system. And I will include some, possibly some more parts after the season 4, at the end of season 4, where he goes around conquering other universes, and in other parts of other series, besides the finished ones, there will be fights in there where they're fighting the group. So, hope you guys are looking forward to a multiverse connection system. Anyways, we start off with Deku, well, the other Dekus in his group: Error, Killer, Horror, and Bloody. Yeah, I'm changing Dust to Bloody because people don't turn to dust, but instead they spew out blood. So he's covered in blood, and instead of his brother that talks to him, I'm gonna do it to where he had a twin sister, and he killed his sister because he went crazy. Anyways, these four are just sitting in a room talking when Bloody Deku stands up and says, well, my sister disagrees with this little idea of yours, Error. As Error stands up and has his strings connected to his fingers from his face, and he goes, oh yeah, what are you gonna do about it, you little glitch? As they're about to fight, Horror slams his axe down on the table, almost breaking it in half, and says, shut up. We can't overthrow him. He knows all of our plans. Even if we do attempt to, he's stronger than us. There's no way we can kill him. Our attacks go right through him. Now I suggest we work for him until we find an opening to escape, or we can at least find a way to kill him. They all say fine, and they sit down. Unknowing to them that Deku actually heard all this and says, so they want to kill me, or abandon me, huh? As he walks into the room and says, alright everyone, we're going to be making a plan to go over a training camp attack. As Bloody looks to his right, where no one's sitting, nods his head and says, my sister says it might be fun. I can get more blood on me, and I can get more blood as well. What are we going to be doing, huh? Are we going to be killing everyone? Are we going to be, as Deku's tentacle reaches out, grabbing around his neck and slamming his face into the table and says, shut up. I can't deal with you right now. As the others are just looking at what he did and just seeing the little crater into the table, thinking that he might have gone overboard. But then someone realized that he might have been listening. As Killer stands up and says, hey, boss, I got a question for you. Deku turns around with his tentacles flaring out of his back and, just sitting there waving around and says, yes, what is it? Better make this quick. I'm trying to make a plan here. Killer says, were you standing outside the door for the past 20 minutes? Deku's tentacles go back into his back and says, I don't know what you're talking about. I just got here whenever you see me walk through the door. What are you, a numbskull? Sit down and I'm gonna finish my plan. Interrupt me again and I'll throw you onto the table like I did Bloody. Same for you, Error and Horror. You two are next. As they sit down and just keep listening, Deku makes his plan and says, alright everyone, let's get all of our group together. and let's start this attack. As the four Dekus get up on stage with our main hero here, Deku, as he stands up higher than the others and he says, "Attention everyone, us five are going to be going to attack the training camp. Who wants to come with us?" As Toga, Dabi, and Twice raise their hand and say, "Ooh, ooh, us." Well, Toga and Twice say it. Dabi just raises his hand and says, "Sure, whatever. Sounds like fun." And Deku closes his hands almost like a clap and says, "Excellent. Now, we have ourselves a good little team here. Come on up to the stage. I'm gonna go ahead and get us out of here." As he grabs onto all of them with tentacles and then just turns into a goop and flies up into the air. Now we cut to Bakugo. As Bakugo and the other students, including Todoroki, female, and Uraraka, are riding on the bus and they're just talking. They're talking to each other. As they're just thinking of what the boss might do next, Uraraka gets a little smug look on her face and says, "So, you're still concerned for him, huh?" Todoroki blushes and, just like smacks her Uraraka in the back of the head and says, "Shut up, you numbskull. I know you have eyes for one of the other ones too. Don't try and keep it." As she was about to say, "Shut up, I wasn't looking at," and then they just stop right at the cliffside where they usually do in canon. Once they get off, they don't notice it, but a black liquid or substance falls from the sky and lands in the forest. For the students, they do the same thing in canon. But for Deku and his group, they arrived early, so they have to wait. So they found a little cave up on the cliffside. They just all the Dekus teleport, but since Toga, Dabi, and Twice can't, Deku grabs onto him with tentacles and just warps with them. They sit inside the cave. One of them was able to put up kind of like an illusion at the edge of the cave and just sat there. Waited until it's night, so they would see a little kid there with a red hat and golden horns on it. They would think that it's perfect prey. Well, Killer and Horror would. Same for Bloody. But Deku grabbed him with his tentacles and slammed him against the cave wall. He said, "Shut up, you idiots. Blow our cover and I'll kill you right here." Ares says, "Calm down, boss. We don't need any more blood in Europe." Deku drops him with the tentacles and they go back into his back and says, "Fine. Now, let's wait and watch." Unbeknownst to them, that the League of Villains is actually planning the same attack. We cut over to Shigaraki, and Shigaraki, Magma, Splinter, I forgot, Muscular, Mustard, I believe, yeah, Mustard. And then we're planning the attack. Since Toga, Dabi, and Twice are not with them, they are a couple powerhouses less, but nonetheless, they did pick up a few other villains. Such as, I'm gonna say that they just picked up a couple random villains with some strongish quirks. One being like a trapping quirk, like Mr. Compress. One being a copy quirk, like Toga, and one being a fire quirk, like Dabi's. And one almost like a clone quirk, like Twice, but absolutely sucks. Anyways, as they were planning their attack, they said they were just going to plan to wait until tonight to attack. So everyone does their training. Todoroki and Uraraka do their training. They're a little bit stronger, so they breeze through their training, but it still is a little painful because they're doing it more advanced than when Deku taught them. Deku taught them the easy way, but it was still long. It was a long practice, but it was still easy. They were getting a hard, quick learning from him. Anyway, as they were done with their training, Todoroki and Uraraka meet up together, and they just sit at the edge of the forest and talk. And Todoroki and Uraraka get a text, and it's from Deku. And he says, "Tonight's the attack. Tell us your plans. Are you guys having like a little meet up in the forest or something?" Uraraka says, "No, but we're doing a contest of courage in the forest. I think it would be a perfect time for you guys." Deku sends back one last text saying, "Perfect. Act casual for the rest of the day. When it hits nighttime, prepare. Just run into the forest and act like you're going to go help someone and meet us up at a cave on the side of the cliff. We'll see you there." As he snaps the phone in half with his tentacles and throws it to the side. They ask why he does it, and he says, "Satellite tracking. Those things have SIM cards in them, and whenever they have one in them, satellites up above track you. It's a smart idea next time you want to make calls." As they all take out their SIM cards, snapping them and then throwing them away and putting their phone back in their pockets, Deku smacks his face and says, "You're supposed to do it after you make the call, you numbskulls." As he just reaches in his pocket, tosses him a new SIM card and says, "Put it in your phone, you idiots. Hold on to that thing until I call you." And Deku's thinking in his head, why do I get stuck with the idiots? Why? As it hits nighttime, and what Deku's group didn't know is that Kurogiri warped some of the other villains there. Deku stepping out of the cave as Muscular was about to smash Koda. Deku reached using his tentacles, grabbing all of Muscular's limbs and ripping them all off. And then just tossing him to the side and says, "A horror and killer. And bloody, I guess. Have some fun." As the limbs are still in Deku's tentacles, and he throws them at the wall where Muscular's body was. It says, "Hey kid, if you don't want to die by these three stooges, I suggest you leave. Now." As his face turns terrifying, with his mouth being all goopy, and his eye getting bigger and flares up. As Koda runs off and it unflares and gets back to normal, he says, "Now, you three have your fun. Now, Toga, I know you want that blood. You're gonna have to wait. I'll get you some more blood. How does that sound?" As she excitingly says yes. She tries to hug Deku, but she goes right through him. She lands on her face, twice laughing and says, "Are you okay?" You know, twice would usually do. And then Dobby smacks him in the back of the head and says, "Go help her, you idiot. Hope you don't mind, boss, but us three are gonna go do our own thing. I guess Toga can get some blood, and I'm gonna go cause a fire to trap everyone in." "Go on, Twice, somebody need you for this." Twice says, "On my way, Captain, go fuck yourself." And they just walk, all three of them just slide down the cliff to go do what they did in canon. But this time not attacking Uraka and Sue, it's Sue and Mina. So she gets some of Mina's blood. And then just gets away. So Deku is sitting there, overlooking all this chaos with Air. He says to Air, without looking at him, "Are you sure you don't want to join in on this chaos? We're going to be doing this in other multiverses, you know. You might as well get easily. Especially for the multiverse, you're going to have to learn how to do this essentially." As he looks over to Air and says, "Right." Air looks at him with just a little slight look of his eyes, and then looks forward and says, "I guess you're right. I'm going to have to get used to this soon." So he slides down the cliff, and with his hands in his sweatshirt, it says, "Alright, time to cause some chaos." As some blasters appear as he raises his hand, and then closes it as A big light fills the sky as 3 lines are drawn through the forestry. Big lines, not small, tiny ones about the size of maybe the size of like a watermelon across. No, I'm talking about a 6 feet wide hole, just trenched into the ground, dug all the way across the forest. Remember, he's a god of destruction for the multiverse, so he's gonna be strong. And this one's no doubt about it. So as this was happening, Bakugo realized who exactly was attacking. He says, "The League of Villains is here, and Deku's group." They ask, "Who's the League of Villains? And who's Deku's group?" As Kirishima, Dream, and Bakugo would get together and say, "We have to go find this guy now. The leader of this one other group is way too strong. He's stronger than anyone. He's stronger than everyone here. We gotta find him. We gotta find him and beat him. But only Dream can do that." Dream pulls out a little staff from behind his back and says, "Right, let's go." As they start rushing towards to where Deku was. And I have a question for you guys. What do you guys want the name of Deku's group to be? I'm not gonna keep saying Deku's group. So you guys are gonna have to choose that. And I hope you guys enjoy. Comment anything that you guys want in the next part. The female Todoroki and Deku ship is in this. So if you guys want another ship in the series, I'm sorry, it's too late. Anyways, see you guys in the next video. Peace.